today's episode of Guess What the Fuck I Found on the CIA website, there's this declassified document from 1983 where the CIA openly admits reality isn't what we think it is. It's called the Gateway Process, and it was all about training people to leave their bodies, like tap into altered states of consciousness and travel through fucking space and time using their mind. Yeah, and the CIA studied astral projection, they studied remote viewing, parallel timelines, and even something that they called the absolute. According to the document, the universe is a hologram. Like, your consciousness isn't inside your body is inside your consciousness. They used tech from the Monroe Institute to hack reality, like binaural beats, frequencies, altered brain waves, and apparently it fucking worked. So why was the CIA funding this? Why did they declassify it and hope that no one would notice? Because it proves something huge. Like, you are way more powerful than they want you to believe. And this reality is bendable. So this was buried in a CIA document for like 20 years. It's on CIA.gov. Go check it out yourself. And also put in the comments if you would be interested in me compiling a bunch of these declassified documents so you don't have to go search for them, and I can offer them in a link. Let me know in the comments if that's something you'd be interested in.
The CIA just declassified some documents every American should see. Let me give you some context first. These documents are in regards to Project Artichoke. Project Artichoke is the predecessor to MK Ultra. The early goal for both of these projects were to see if they could mind control and make someone involuntarily become an assassin. Later works for these projects include other mind control techniques through hypnosis and other means I'm not sure if I can mention here. This document explains how they want to extend Project Artichoke to the general population. Let me read you some of it. The second type of drug should be one that can be administered over a considerable period of time, possibly being placed in food or water, and would either have an agitating effect, producing anxiety, nervousness, tension, etc., or a depressing effect. This study should include chemicals or drugs that can effectively be concealed in common items such as food, water, Coca-Cola, beer, liquor, cigarettes, etc. This type of drug should also be capable of use in standard medical treatments such as vaccinations, shots, etc. This information is public and on the CIA website.
My biggest thing was what happens after we go on. I'm interested to know, do we come in reincarnation? I've asked, do we come back?
What do you believe happens when we die?
So I want you guys to place your focus on the fact that she said that she used to be Catholic. Now, whether she was an actual believer of Jesus Christ, that's up for question. I doubt that she was, because right after she says that, she says that she believes that Jesus Christ was a man and that there were other people who had done teachings in the world before the past. She believes that Jesus Christ was not God of some sort. But it gets really, really crazy when he asks her about the crucifixion, which he's going to do in a couple minutes. So stay tuned. Let's dive back in.
I just think you're kind of I think you go over with, I believe that you go on and that you're reunited with your soul family or with your karma group. The way I understand it is that we come into this life with our karma group. Now, we have karma, good karma and bad karma. So the same people that I was with, I just think that we come back, and we come back with the same people.
Really?
I believe in I do.
What is a karma group?
Well, it's the same. Like, in other words, the people you know now, you knew before in a past life. Did you ever go somewhere and just felt like you knew somebody or that you've been there before?
Yes.
Yeah, I've known you. Yeah, yeah.
What do you think deja vu is?
The remembering of a past life.
Do you think it's the remembering of a past life?
Yeah, if it happened before, either you were at that place. I felt like I had that with a couple of my animals.
Why do you think that?
Why do I think what?
Why do you think that we travel with a karma group?
Because it just makes, because we have things to work out with them, I guess.
Who would be in that karma group?
Friends, relatives, friends, people that you meet all through your life. Everybody that you know.
Everybody everybody in your sphere of.
You would know.
Have you tried to look into religion at all, such as the crucifixion? Do you have? Do you not want to talk about that? Okay. Do you want to talk about, you had mentioned you had a UFO experience.
Yeah, when I was 13 years old.
Have you tried to?
The firmament that we are stuck up under, it will open. Will we see the actual planets that, we speak about? Is it hidden behind the firmament?
The planets is actually beyond the ice wall. You have plasma vortexes that have concentric circles that take you through stargates to get beyond the firmament. But in order to get beyond the firmament, you got to be energetically balanced from the heart and the mind. Ever since from 1943, 53, 63, all the way up until the year of 2043, which is also a 9-year, which is the year of completion, that's when the firmament is going to break open. And right above it, you're going to see the mothership, and the mothership is going to extract their children in the so-called rapture, because when you look at the prefix of the word rapture, you get Ra, which is the sun. It's an energy extraction.
It's an actual ship that we will see.
What I'm saying is that when you got the firmament is what creates physical existence. The firmament is why you can see phones, you can see your arm and shit like that. But if you take away the firmament, all you're gonna see is energy. There's no use for the body. When you trap light, that creates physical matter. Those are subatomic particles. This is why sometimes when you sneeze, that's the closest thing that you get to death, because when you sneeze, that's when the heart stops at 0 point energy, because when you sneeze, you see particles, and those particles are subatomic particles. And when they condense together, that's what creates physical matter. So when you start to see death, you can see particles and atoms and everything start to split, because it's the illusion. The firmament breaks open, that's going to be an energy extraction of those who are connected to the ether core of planet Earth.
The nukes to Mars, right? He trying to bust the firmament.
Why? Why would they want to do that? Ain't it water?
They want to get out, but they want to get flood to get out. But everybody want to get out.
The water is gonna come bursting.
Yeah, they gonna destroy it.
Oh hell!
Destroy all of this. Go like what the computers. This is a computer. You look at water and like what the computers. And then all our souls will be automatically free.
Oh, that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, they wet the computers. Listen, we live in the computer. So if I wet the computer, what happens? It go out.
So why do they be showing space and stuff? Is that fake?
Ain't no goddamn space.
Damn.
No space is water up there.
And stuff like that. It don't give that he be up here spinning Call of Duty in the real life. It don't give
I know. And this how you like. This the
So everything is as above, so below. Obviously, many people are becoming aware that there's a firmament above that many people are now starting to realize is impenetrable.
No matter what you do, you can't go straight up in the air and keep going.
An interesting rocket launch was the amateur Go Fast rocket. They gave us something that NASA and SpaceX never gives us, an uninterrupted feed from their camera. If you watch a NASA launch or a SpaceX launch, there's 4, 5, 6 cuts before it even clears the launch pad. Gave us an uninterrupted 72 miles, I think. Went up, and all of a sudden it went kerplunk. It hit something.
It went up, and it appears to have hit the firmament.
One thing I really want your generation to embrace is that the Earth is a closed system. We cannot leave the Earth.
There's no... All right, someone explain this to me. You see these two rainbows here, all right? Which are coming from the reflection of this corner and this corner of the glass. Just like this one is here as well, coming from that corner, as well as this one coming from that corner. So when we see a rainbow outside in the sky, shaped like this, where is that coming from? The only explanation would be if we were to have some form of rounded glass structure above us. If you've never heard of the firmament, look up the firmament and research and educate yourself. I'm not saying the earth is flat, but it's not a globe.
I think the firmament, pi, and Nikola Tesla's 3693 theory are all connected. This video might blow your mind. So I started looking at pi, and you're basically just measuring a circle. I stared at this image for a couple minutes, and then the Bible verse popped into my head about looking over the circle of the earth. The more I looked into what pi is actually used for, I found out that you can't create a dome or an arch in architecture without pi. So then I started to think, are they measuring the firmament with pi? And then I kept thinking about Nikola Tesla's 369 for some reason. I started plugging different numbers into pi. So I had ChatGPT run 3.3 repeating to find the circumference instead of the 3.14 number. And when you replace pi with 3.33, it converts to 66.6. So in Kings 7:23, it says, "Then he made the sea," I think the sea is the waters above, "of cast metal. It was round, 10 cubits from brim to brim and 5 cubits high, and a line of 30 cubits measured its circumference." The biblical value of pi, as derived from 1 Kings 7:23 and 2 Chronicles 4:2, appears to be an approximation of 3, but some interpretations suggest it might imply a slightly more precise value, such as 3.3 repeating. The reason for that being that there was never adjustments for the thickness. Here's the math. Keep in mind, this is the quantum computing model, and look at what they call particles, qubits, just like in the Bible. And we can energy harvest with piezoelectric, pi. If you measure the hemisphere with 3.3 repeating instead of pi, it comes out to 999. Keep in mind, this is what a hemisphere looks like. So then I asked it to create an image of a geodesic dome utilizing 3.3...
The firmament caught on camera. This person left his Nikon in the snow and he caught the firmament rotating. This is called turbine energy, and this is what fuels and creates energy for the whole plane or planet. Turbine energy. A turbine is a rotary machine that converts the kinetic energy of a fluid like water, steam, air, or combustion gases, and that can be used to generate electricity or power other systems like planes, jet engines. It's all kinetic energy. So as you can see it rotating, the base of the firmament is causing a friction on the ground, which creates static electricity and powers the earth. The earth is all kinetic energy.
So this lady took this video in West Virginia of these rainbows reflecting in all different ways. And this is 100% evidence that we live under a firmament. Rainbows prove that we live under a glass dome. That's why they are shaped as a dome. Think about this. This is quite literally impossible if this is actually what's happening. How does this make any sense to anyone out there? The light refracts 3 times or 2 times through a raindrop, and then the observer sees a rainbow like this. That makes 0 sense. In order to create a rainbow, scientifically, we need light, we need a prism, and we need water. What's missing in this equation? The prism is missing. You need some sort of glass prism to make a rainbow. This is literally kindergarten science. Light, glass prism, water makes the rainbow. See the shape of this rainbow? It's taking the shape of the cup. Grade 1 science. And then they tell you that this is what's happening in the sky, and then we see this as the observer. Absolute nonsense, makes 0 sense at all. All you need to do is read the Bible, read the book of Genesis, and God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. We have water, we have a glass prism, we have light. That's how we have arched rainbows. The only way to observe this is if we live under God's dome. You need to wake up. Make sure to like, share, and follow for more hidden truth. Peace and love.
Somebody explain to me why this moon right here is below the horizon.
Please can someone help explain how on this flight the moon is below the horizon by quite some way?
Man, I'm at work again. Now I'm heading west. Damn, look, there's 2 suns out. There's 2 suns. I know one of those ain't the moon. I know one of them is not the moon going down and the sun rising. So what's going on? I'm freaking out. Is the world coming to an end? Am I uneducated? Am I heading east? Am I heading west? What the hell? What's going on? Fuck it. Time to get back to work.
What the fuck? Yo, the sky is fucking blue! I'm over here! And then it turned off! Yo!
Can you believe that? Oh my god. Oh my god. That's the weirdest sunset ever.
I've never seen it do that.
What the fuck is going on, man? Look! The fucking world falling apart and shit. I'm not fucking with it. What's going on?
What we see in the sky. Like, look at those colors. That is so bright.
This is how you know simulation is broke. Look, the sun is over there. No clouds, no clouds, no clouds. This cloud over there, but where's the shadow for this cloud coming from if the sun is behind me?
Now look at this. Directly behind me. What is that? I'm not a flat earther by any means, but that and that can't both be.
If that's the sun going down over there, then what is that?